is the frustrating part too, because I don't know if, for people who remember printed objects, right? Fucking good old magazines, subscriptions and shit. They come to you and then they get, they come off like on an odd date, and then they always kind of come like, oh shit, like I'd be thinking to myself, it's June already, like we got the fucking quarterly fucking magazine. And what sucks, or what kind of scares me about this, and why it definitely makes this shit possible, is that if we were to look shit up, we're gonna fucking see, it was on this date. Why would the internet lie? Why would there be this misprinted date on here, and then it becomes fact?
Yeah. And
shit.
That's the thing, you called it, because with print media, a lot of times they work on those, like the main covers, the main topic, the main whatever. They'll work on that like 2 to 3 months in advance. And I'll never forget the story about Vibe. One of the guys who used to work for Vibe magazine had broke down when Tupac and Biggie, when that whole situation went down. Because again, for you youngins who weren't born in the 1900s, Tupac and Biggie, when they were beefing, it was a serious beef between the two of them. But what we learned in hindsight is the media fueled that to turn into what it turned out to be. Like they were going at it or whatever, but the media took it to a whole nother level. Now, Vibe magazine, one of the guys who used to work for Vibe after the deaths and all that, looks back at it, and he does feel personally responsible a bit for it, because in the middle of all that beef between all them or whatever, they had worked on a article, front page article with Biggie and with Puff, and they were interviewing them, talking about the whole East Coast West Coast beef and all the stuff with Pac. Now, the problem is they started working on that, like I said, about 90 days before it's set to be done. You get it done, and then maybe it's 2 to 4 weeks or whatever in the process of getting printed and getting shipped out. It end up getting shipped out and delivered to people, and people end up getting the magazine. It was available for sale, and it was like roughly a week or two after Pac got killed. So Pac got killed, and then literally within a couple of weeks, a Vibe magazine article came out with Biggie, who shot you, and they were like, "Oh shit, we just added to it because now it looks like Biggie was talking shit on the cover." Yeah. People don't know that print. We started on that a long time ago.
And then even beyond that, I think if we could apply it to footage that's out there, there's a scene, and I think it was Notorious B.I.G., and I'm pretty sure it just kind of has been recreated a couple of times. There's a scene where Biggie and Pac are on stage together. Now, that shit was 93, so that's predating before Pac had jumped on death row. So, like, again, I think it was even harder for people to understand nowadays, for us who had, I think the closest we kind of had to social media before like the MySpaces and shit, was the tabloids. And even then, they kind of didn't give a fuck about hip hop at the time. Like now, that's all you can see on people.
That's all they talk about now.
And, but before then, it wasn't respected in that essence. So could you imagine, again, just kind of going back in time, could you imagine like being in a situation where normally something's on Twitter, something's on whatever sort of news feed, we hear about it instantaneously. But can you imagine fucking not hearing about shit until it's reached print? Like, I was just hanging with this motherfucker 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about? We got a beef.
What you mean?
I fucked up.
I just saw him.
So then you got to wait for this motherfucker to hit print. And then, again, everyone learns at the same time.
See, and that's kind of the flip side of it, is the gift and the curse of it is back then things took too long to come to media. So the amount of time like it hit the general masses, it was old. But then on the flip side of it, now we have the problem where stuff is delivered to the masses instantaneously. So then the the reversal of that happens, where something happens and then all the media outlets are rushing to be the first one to report on it. And then more information comes out, and then they have to send out a new update saying, "Oh, this is the new information." People are like, "Oh my God, look, the media is lying to us." And it's like, no, everyone is just so quick to be the first one to drop the story.
Yeah.